Good evening, students. Our today's topic is collision, one of the important topic of your chapter. Collisions basically is divided into two types. The first is your elastic collision, in which the kinetic energy will remain same before collision and after collision. So whenever there is no loss of kinetic energy, that is called your elastic collision. Means the vibration will be there, some kind of vibration. And second one is your inelastic collision, in which the kinetic energy has been lost in any factor, in any kind of way. Whenever it get lost, it become your inelastic collision. Okay. So here we are dealing with the elastic collision in one dimension. What happens when the two objects strikes moving in a single plane? What will be their velocities and what are the conditions occurs? Okay. So here I have drawn a diagram. In this diagram, you are able to see that there will be two objects, the object A and object B. Object A is having mass m1 moving with initial velocity u1. Similarly, object B is having mass m2 moving with initial velocity is u2. This is the condition when both the objects are moving in the same direction before collision. And the condition for this is that the velocity of object A always greater than the velocity of object B. Okay. After a certain interval of time, when these two objects will get strike each other, so the condition will be like this during collision, and they will move togetherly for certain interval of time. Now here in elastic collision, the kinetic energy is transferred from one body to another body. So what happens to here? The object which is moving with higher velocity in the initial condition, it transfers the energy to the second body after collision. So what happens after collision? These two again get separated. The object which is named B having mass m2 moves with velocity v2, which is moving faster than the velocity of than the object A having velocity v1. So what does it means? This diagram shows that the object which is moving with u1 initially, when strike, it transfers energy to object B, and after collision the object B will move faster than object before collision. So the condition for this equation will be your velocity of object B will always greater than velocity of object A. So V2 greater than V1. Now how we will find out the velocities? What will be these two velocities? Thus we have to find out in certain conditions. Okay. For that again we consider that there will be two objects having mass m1 and m2. Object A is having mass m1, object B having mass m2, and the object A having initial velocity u1, object B having initial velocity u2. Before collision, after collision, the velocity will become v1 and v2. Okay. So this is the systematic theory which you have to explain. After that, the first condition occurs is that whenever the two objects will strike with each other, their linear momentum will conserve. Okay. So here we'll start like this. According to conservation of linear momentum, m1 u1 plus m2 u2, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 before collision is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2, m1 v1 plus m2 v2 after collision. Okay. Now this is the simple mathematical calculation which we have to do. What I have done, I have taken the m1 part to the one side and m2 part to the other side. So what happened? Your m1 u1 minus m1 v1. This m1 and v1 I have taken to this side, and this m2 u2 I have taken to that side. So m1 u1 equals to m2 m1 v1 minus equals to m2 v2 minus of m2 u2. This is a simple mathematical, or what I have done, I have taken m1 outside. The next I have taken side. This condition shows that the linear momentum is conserved. Okay. Now it is elastic collision, so the linear momentum is conserved as well as the kinetic energy will also conserve. There will be no loss of kinetic energy. That means the kinetic energy will conserve. So what we will do, we will again apply the kinetic energy before collision and kinetic energy after collision. So before collision the condition will be half m1 u1 square, kinetic energy over here plus kinetic energy over here. So next will be your half m2 u2 square. Similarly, kinetic energy over here after collision, kinetic energy over here after collision. So your m1 v1 square 1 by 2 m1 v1 square plus 1 by 2 m2 v2 square. Okay. Now again what I have done, I have taken 1 by 2 common and I have strike it out, so it get cancelled. Next what I have done, I have taken the object A components, that m1 u1 m1 v1 to the left hand side Similarly, m2 v2 m2 u2 to the right hand side. So the equation will occur like this: m1 u1 square minus m1 v1 square is equals to m2 v2 square minus m2 u2 square. Again, in this equation, left hand side m1 is common, over there m2 is common. I have taken outside. I have applied a square minus b square, the mathematical identity. So the equation will become your m1 u1 minus v1 plus multiplied u1 plus v1 is equals to m2 v2 minus u2 in the bracket v2 plus u2. Okay. Now whenever gone through this equation number 2 and 3, it similar, somehow it is similar. Only the factor is that here m1, here u1 plus v1 and u2 plus v2 are added in these two equations. So while taking a look in these two equations, we are able to find out the velocity, either v1, u1, u2, v2, or any of this one, substituting the other. So what I have done, I have divided equation number 3 by equation number 2. So when I divide equation number 3 by equation number 2, m1 u1 minus v1, both of them are common, so it get cancelled. Similarly, m2 v2 minus u2, both of them are cancelled. So what is left? u1 plus v1 equals to u2 plus v2. This is left in the equation after division. Now again, what I have to do, I have to take the initial velocity to the one side and final velocity to the other side. What I have done this to find out the relative velocity of the object. So when this equation occurs and u1 minus u2 equals to v2 minus v1, this equation number 4 shows that the relative velocity before collision is absolutely equal to relative velocity after collision. So this will shows. Now in the diagram I have already explained you that u1 is greater after, before collision and after collision u2 is greater. So see, though which we have expected over here, it's already proved over here that u1 minus u2 equals to v2 minus v1. This shows the relative velocity of the object moving when before collision, after collision. From this equation, we are able to find out the velocity v2, velocity v1, velocity u2, velocity u1 when 3 of the parameter given and 1 is left to find out. Okay, so this is the also important equation. v2 equals to u1 minus u2 plus v1. This shows the velocity of the equation after collision when the object is moving in a very fast way with respect to the object A. Object A having velocity v1. Okay, so this equation will give you the velocity of the object after collision. Now in some cases what happen, we are not having the velocity v1. So what will be the condition? So whenever the object occurs having which is not showing the velocity v1, only showing the velocity u1, u2 and the mass component, at that time what will be the equation? So what I have done, I have taken this v2 from equation number 5 to equation number 1. This is the most simplest equation where we can depute this v2 from here to there. So when you depute this equation from v2 from here to there, the equation will be occur like that: m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equals to m1 v1 plus m2. This from here has been replaced by this equation u1 minus u2 plus v1. Now this equation can be considered component in terms of u1, u2, v1 and only v1. Okay, so from here we can able to find out the velocity v1, the velocity of the object A after collision while doing this mathematical equation. What I have done, I have taken m1 v1 to the one side and rest of the component to the other side. So m1 v1 equals to your m1 u1 plus m2 u2 minus m2 u1 minus u2 plus v1, the mathematical equation which we already knows that. And again I have opened this bracket, I have taken m1 to the one side, m2 to the other side. Now here again in the fourth equation, what I have done, m1 plus m2. See here v1, we are finding the value of v1. So what we take v1 to the one side. So m1 plus m2. Here this m2 and here this m1. Both are in common v1. So I have taken this m2 to that side. So m1 plus m2 times v1 equals to m1 minus m2 u1 plus 2 times m2 u2. This will give you the condition from where we are able to find out the velocity of v1 of an object after collision. Similarly, when you using this equation, you are able to find out the velocity of v2 also. Okay. For that, what you have to take? You have to take v1 to the one side and v2 from here to here. you are able to find out the value. Same method, or in a simple way, in the easiest way, what you have to do, you have 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. From where 1 is written, you have to put 2. From 2 you have written 1, you have to put. So V2 equals to M1. So V2 equals to M2 minus M1 multiplied by U2 plus 2 times M1 U1 upon M1 plus M2. This is the equation of the velocity, which shows after collision when the object B is moving in the same direction with an object A, and the velocity of object B shows always higher when these two objects will strike. So these three equations, V1 equation number 6, equation number 7, and the equation number 5, are useful to find out the velocity. Equation number 5 is useful to find out the velocity when only velocity term is given, not the mass term. But equation number 6 and equation number 7 is useful and helpful when only initial velocity and mass is given, not the final velocity. So these three equations can be useful according to the given approach.